Chi volunteers visit the Queensland Fire and Emergency Services to understand the current conditions and help the affected residents. Tzu Chi volunteers' companionship changed a young man's life after he shut himself out from the outside world for 8 years. Welcome to DAI Headlines, I'm Simon Gan. Thank you for joining us. Wildfires in Australia have devastated the country since 2019, even continuing in 2020. Gold Coast Tzu Chi volunteers have visited the Queensland Fire and Emergency Services in hopes to understand the current conditions and find opportunities to help the affected residents.
Queensland Fire Emergency Services has been operating 24 hours a day to help put out a fire.
We got 33,000 volunteers.
33,000.
Yes. So we provide obviously the base level of equipment for all of our firefighters and fire brigades.
Gold Coast City volunteers have visited the first time after wildfires in 2019. Since the summer, this conference room has been open 8 times.
I mean, the weather conditions we've got over in inland Australia at the moment is just baking the country, and things are tinder dry, and fires are just spreading so quickly at the moment. So we've been going since July. We've had major bushfires across Queensland since then. Today, I think we're sitting at over 70.
Mater Hospital, which has worked with Tzu Chi in the aftermath of the 1998 Papua New Guinea tsunami, later signed cooperative education agreement with Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology. The hospital board member has witnessed the moment.
Tzu Chi, led by Julia, actually set up, and our relationship just continues year after year after year. And just recently, so Maggie and myself, we have a number of supporters through Tzu Chi.
Tzu Chi volunteers presented them with LED caps and ginseng aphorisms as tokens of friendship. They hope that in the future they can provide assistance to the affected residents.
A fire broke out on the second floor of an apartment in Kaohsiung because of a short circuit, causing it to spread to the third and fourth floor. Upon hearing the news, Tzu Chi volunteers went to consolate the survivors immediately.
The fire started on the second floor and then went up to the third and the fourth floors. An elderly woman who was on the fourth floor at the time still shakes from recalling the incident.
Grandma, this is from the master to comfort you and also bless you for being safe from the incident.
I went to the fourth floor to open a window, and I ran down to the third floor, but I couldn't go any further. There was smoke everywhere. Then a firefighter carried me down on his back, and even after I reached the ground, I was still shaking.
Fortunately, the fire was extinguished and no one hurt. When volunteers go upstairs, they see everything in the house is a mess.
The fire investigation team should have come and examined the cause, right? Now everyone is safe. After the fire was out, we then left.
After DAI TV started for a year or 2 years, I began watching it. I have watched its programs for 22 years.
He knows Tzu Chi very well because he is a long-term audience of DAI TV. Yet he didn't expect to meet Tzu Chi volunteers at the time of the disaster. Fortunately, his home has not been affected much, yet all electric appliances in another family were ruined.
Air conditioner, washing machine, water heater, and all the decorations are all gone. These are also useless because they are burnt black.
We came today to care about them and try to understand their conditions. Hopefully we can finish cleaning their homes in these 2 days so they can celebrate the Lunar New Year in a clean environment.
The volunteers will continue helping these survivors by cleaning up their homes as quickly as possible, so these survivors can also prepare themselves for the Lunar New Year.
To celebrate the end of the year and bring blessings to the community, Tzu Chi Dharma Masters, members of the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital, staffs from the Tzu Chi Foundation, along with Tzu Chi volunteers, divided into 4 routes and visited 15 households, bringing them gifts and blessings.
Opening up the spring couplet, everyone reads this Jingsa aphorism in unison. These words offer encouragement for the future. At the end of the year, this distribution of gifts and Dharma brings blessings and peace.
It's really lively, and wow, so many bodhisattvas gathered here to rejoice.
Because of old age or physical illness, some couldn't do Tzu Chi volunteering as often as they'd liked before. So Jingsa Bodhidharma masters and others divide into 4 groups, going on different routes to visit 15 families in Hualien. Medical staff from Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital also check their pulse and general physical condition. They also look over their medication and check on their mental health and peace of mind.
We came along with our blessings and will come again to see them next year. I hope they will follow the Master's Dharma this year. They should be determined and stable and go in the right direction as we help them become healthier.
Everyone getting together in these homes allows them to interact and chat, as each visit is full of warm laughter along with great affection and love.
In our 5th episode about Tzu Chi rebuilding homes, we traveled to meet Yunlin County's Kohu Township. Mrs. Xu suffers from cataracts and is almost blind, though she still cares for 2 of her sons who are physically and mentally disabled. Their home frequently leaks as they use a tarp and tires on their roof. Let's take a look.
In just 1 year, Miss Xu's cataracts rapidly deteriorated, leaving her only to see faint light and shadows.
Both eyes can't see well and do not dare go anywhere, and I am afraid to touch things. I gave 2 of my children to others. I had a total of 5 children.
Miss Xu is reluctant to mention her past. Of the 3 sons currently around, 2 are physically and mentally disabled, and the eldest son is working odd jobs.
The roof is covered with the canvas and the tires which I borrowed on the roof. Otherwise, it causes water leaking into all the rooms.
The broken roof is just one part of the problem, such as aging brick walls and boards, which simply have to make do. This leads to many uninvited guests to come into the home.
If I'm not at home, maybe because of work, when I have some free time, I'll go home and check on her. She can't do things alone because she is elderly.
Tzu Chi volunteers wanted to apply for home renovations, but it turned out the land was owned by others. It took a lot of effort to contact the landlord.
After we found the landlord, they said yes, and he was willing to sign the consent form. Well, we felt very grateful to help them.
Because of the disorder, many had to come together with the Tzu Chi construction team, planning to rebuild the entire structure.
In order to increase the home's durability, part of our window sill uses the net concrete grouting method. This increases the earthquake resistance and improves its water resistance nature.
After 1 month, the new home is completed, and during this period, she underwent cataract surgery. The first time she opened her eyes, she saw her new home. Though their furniture hasn't been moved in, the light comes into the house welcoming this family.
This 3-bedroom house is quite good. The environment and air is also good.
With a sly smile on her face, she no longer needs to worry about typhoon and rain, as this family can live in peace. A new year ahead, this family is getting a new start.
When When Chiu Shichen was 19 years old, he was in a car accident which injured his neck bone and thus paralyzed the lower part of his body. He was in a caring home for 2 years, and after he went back home, he closed himself from the world for 8 years. Finally, with the constant company of Tzu Chi volunteers, he became more positive and started working. Let's take a look at his story.
When I was injured, I couldn't accept that I was injured and paralyzed. I hated that person who caused me this injury. Right now, I can't move around freely, but I'm not like what I was like in the past. I'll find ways to overcome my handicap, to help myself move around, or find any tool so I can overcome my disability. I stayed in a nursing home for 2 years and lived at home for 8 years. Then one day it got me thinking that if I would still be this way 10 years from now, would I still be this way, living in the same life every day? Then I thought about how to commit suicide. I attempted 3 suicides, but I couldn't kill myself. And later I saw some people in far more serious cases than me, but they could live on their own. I was not as serious as them, and I was not the most serious, but I didn't know how to live.
It is very difficult, but he wants to rely on himself and strives to be independent and self-sufficient. We want to encourage ourselves and other people, so those handicapped people who also want to be independent can become self-sufficient.
On the average, I can sell between $300 and $500 a day, but there were also $200 too. On Saturdays and Sundays, I can sell around $1,000 a day. I've sold many things, and I feel selling chewing gums make me quite happy. I don't have any pressure. Because I'm selling chewing gums, so if customers buy them with $1 coins, I'll save them, and I will donate them at the year-end blessing ceremonies and hear the sound of coins dropping. Back then, I received help from Tzu Chi, so I feel that since I have some ability, I can also give back.
He has experienced all kinds of hardship, but he's very strong, and we hope that he can become a warrior of life.
He is capable of supporting himself, so we are very happy for him. When we visit him, we are very concerned about his physical condition and also his business too, because without a good business, it will affect his livelihood.
I feel I must live at the current moment, and I don't plan on making any long-term plan, because I don't know if anything will happen to me. I don't have any expectation, because I feel tired. Actually, I feel happiest the most right now.
In Changhua County, a lady needs to take care of her paralyzed son with brain damage. Having a thin body, she often carries her child weighing 70 kilos for rehabilitation. She has not complained a word for the past 3 years, but often recorded the life of her son and shared it with volunteers.
In 2016, Mr. Yang suffered a brain injury and the coma index was 3.
We just happened to meet some doctors to drain the blood clot in his brain timely, so that he could recover step by step.
After he woke up, he was impatient with a series of rehabilitations. His legs had no energy, and so he couldn't stand up. Until he could control the electric wheelchair by himself, he could go out.
When I recover, I want to go back to Xihu to see my grandmother and chat with her. She loves me so much since I was young.
When he was 6 years old, his parents divorced. His mother has loved him for 20 years. When meeting him again, she lifts up his body and also shoulders the responsibilities to take care of him.
He's innocent, I'm innocent too. I feel helpless when I can't handle his temper. I'll start hitting him using a stick.
Staying together for 1,200 days, their relationship is quite close, yet still unfamiliar.
When he has bad temper, I'll definitely ask Tzu Chi's sister to help. It really works.
As mediators, volunteers have created special reaction between them. The mother and son smile in the sun, comforting the volunteers who have been caring for them for a long time.
A care recipient, Shoma in Mozambique, assisted Tzu Chi to conduct disaster relief after Cyclone Idai. However, she had to return to her hometown to take care of her ill mother. Tzu Chi volunteers visited her mother and provided a Jingsi multifunctional folding bed and medicine to relieve her pain. Let's take a look.
Just like the blessings in the lyric, Shoma's mother shows her smile.
When you are healthy, everyone comes to visit you, but when you are sick, everyone disappeared.
The first time volunteers met Shoma's mother, she was lying in the aisle and was very skinny. The doctor thought that she was suffering from terminal stage AIDS and malnutrition. Other than giving her a painkiller, this time they also brought her a Jingsi multi-folding bed. Now that she doesn't need to lie on the cold ground anymore, it's also the first time that her mother heard Dharma Master Zhen Yan's teachings.
Shoma should also learn from Master Zhen Yan's love and compassion.
The joyful vibe has swept away the shadow in the family. Her mother volunteered to sing a holy song from the church to everyone.
What I'm the most grateful is not the bed you brought, but the love that has given me and my mother power once again.
A week later, her mother has returned to God. On the last journey of life, the daughter and mother accompany each other till the end with no regrets.
In the United States, the volunteers at Tzu Chi U.S. headquarters and Tzu Chi Seattle branch chanted the Lotus Sutra to celebrate the new year. As they sincerely chant the sutra, they also purified their minds and vowed to walk the Bodhisattva path. Let's join them there.
40-50年来，我已经证明给世间的人看，我们慈济宗门净思法脉是源自于释迦牟尼佛本师的正信正法。
To celebrate a new year, volunteers at Tzu Chi U.S. headquarters chant a prelude to the Lotus Sutra. As they chant the sutra, they also purify their minds and make vows.
The Buddha Hall is very dignified and the atmosphere is harmonious. The master is elderly, but she still needs us to do good deeds. I'm deeply touched.
We uphold our master's aspirations and the aspirations of the Buddha, or the grand vows. Therefore, in the new year, I hope we can continue to cultivate ourselves and carry out Tzu Chi's work.
Tzu Chi has been in the U.S. for 30 years and will continue the good work.
The senior volunteers will stay. The middle generation of volunteers are willing to do the work. Then the English-speaking young people will join us. We will start to promote Tzu Chi 2.0. We'll speak English to recruit local residents, regardless of his ethnicities, religious beliefs, or cultural backgrounds.
Local people, 不管他是哪一个族裔、哪个宗教、哪个种族、哪个文化背景。
Seattle Tzu Chi volunteers made multicolored tangyuan to symbolize positive energy. They encourage each other to form positive affinities with others. At the beginning of the year, all the volunteers are cultivating themselves and growing together.
Taiwan's climate is hot and humid, causing mold and bacteria to grow in socks easily, which can lead to athlete's foot infection. There are various ways of treatment on the internet, which may not be very effective and potentially dangerous. Today, we take a look at these cures, which range from tea leaves to vinegar and even iodine.
Athlete's foot causes many to itch, and if you have ever had it, you will know that there's little you can do, as sitting and walking can all be an irritant. Some can't stand it anymore and have to take off their shoes and socks and scratch their feet till they bleed. A bacterial infection causes skin irritation when histamine is produced. If you have athlete's foot, how do you fight it? There are many prescriptions on the internet. Have you heard of tea, white vinegar, and iodine as the most popular remedies? But are they really effective? Let's take a look. The first treatment is to soak tea leaves in warm water with salt and use it to wash the feet. It is believed to be effective in soothing the problem.
Soaking in this solution won't kill all the bacteria, as it could cause skin to crack and lead to secondary infection, such as cellulitis, which is more difficult to treat.
The second treatment is a traditional favorite, which mixes white vinegar with water in certain proportion and use it to soak feet.
Vinegar is a type of acid. If the concentration is not enough to kill the bacteria, it has already damaged the skin. It may lead to skin corrosion from this acid.
The third treatment is the most popular, as many use iodine to directly treat the wound as they hope to kill the bacteria.
Iodine actually has a therapeutic effect, but the problem is many people may be allergic to iodine. If you are not sure when using iodine for treatment, you run the risk of developing severe contact dermatitis.
Of these three treatments, it is unclear if they are effective. The best treatment is to consult a dermatologist and receive medication to treat athlete's foot.
In the US, Tzu Chi volunteers in El Monte hosted a variety of talks and cooking lessons to encourage the elderly and their families to adopt a vegetarian diet. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and goodbye.